so John's got a bit stuck, unfortunately.
Yes. Good afternoon, welcome to TGS Live.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Took us some fucking time, but you know, technical issues is what it is.
La, 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 la,
When
la.
you've got a weird noise that fucking appears from nowhere and you can't find it in any of your leads.
Sounds like a transformer having sex. Yes, it did. How are we all today?
I'm kind of sleepy now.
You're kind of sleepy.
I'm thinking about Megatron's cum face.
Do you know what that reminds me of, though?
Why would you think about Megatron's cum face?
Because you said Transformers having sex.
Oh, okay.
But then that makes me think of the big Transformer balls, which then makes me think of in The Mummy, where you see the big horse dick.
You saw the horse dick in The Mummy.
Yeah, did you see that? Did you notice it at the
I
end?
didn't notice the horse dick.
I didn't notice the horse dick.
I didn't notice the horse dick.
Yeah, at the end, when they're riding across the desert, there's a big schlong hanging off this horse. It's a big one.
Well, you see, horses have penises.
There wasn't anything about the movie, there was a load of dick.
That's the only thing she,
You're
remembers about the
entitled to
Mummy
like it.
is that
I am.
there's a horse in it that has a massive dick.
And it's just hanging there and doing what it does.
Was it
Or maybe not doing what it does, because...
So the Mummy has a massive
was it
dick in
like
it. Is that what you're saying?
Pink and black,
Yeah.
was it?
No, it was like shaded because it was underneath the horse.
You know that's how like nature works, right?
Yeah, but I don't expect to see it in the middle of a film.
Airbrush it out.
Yeah. How many films do you see that have got horses
In
in?
fairness, what's that? Fucking like half an hour of fucking
How many films have got horses in?
like work.
War Horse. How many
Yeah,
horse?
from a post-production point of
Yeah.
view.
How many horse dicks did you see in War Horse?
I don't think I saw War Horse.
But there was none. I think how many fucking horses were in that?
Equus. Only Harry Potter's dick in that.
I don't.
Why do I need to know these things? Why? Why would you notice
love
that?
a dick.
No, you have noticed this. I did not notice this. I saw that movie, and I honestly say I didn't come out there going, "Did you see that horse's penis?"
Not
Why
notice
didn't you say
it.
Just because I wasn't thinking about that.
Think of how far ahead that would have put your review over everybody else's.
The Mummy,
Quite literally horse dick.
quite literally horse dick. I think give that movie a 2. To be fair.
No, 3 at least.
Well, because of the dick.
That dick is like a 3.
Yeah. Seriously, the fucking size of it. Yeah. I'll give it a 5 all
The way I
day
figure it,
long.
right, is this week it was announced that the DCEU is basically being done away with.
Yeah, it's been deconstructed.
It's kind of going to exist, but kind of not. You know, if those things interlink, then great, and if they don't, never mind.
They're going to focus on standalone stuff more.
Yeah.
And break away from this idea of competing with the MCU.
So if DC can't survive a fucking there's no way the fucking Dark Universe is ever going to be a thing. It's never going to get to completion. It's not going to happen in full.
If
We
DC...
will not. We may. What's supposed to be the next one?
Probably like Jekyll and Hyde, I
Well,
imagine. Or...
Johnny Depp's the Invisible Man, so I imagine
yeah.
they'll probably be wanting to get onto that. And he was probably only interested in that so he could actually watch one of his own movies.
See, again, that's another
Now.
film I would love to see.
The Invisible Man. I don't want to pay to not see Johnny Depp. I can pay. I can not see Johnny Depp now. There he is, not over there.
Not saying a word.
Paid to not see Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
But you hear him though, so it's kind of like
Exactly.
a voiceover.
Yeah.
I can hear him in my head all the time.
Do you hear lots of other people as well in your head?
Yes.
Keith hears Johnny Depp in his head all the time.
No,
Confirm!
I'm not specifically Johnny Depp.
Do they tell you to do bad things?
I'm Ed Wood. I'm Johnny Depp doing Ed Wood in
I
my head.
wondered where all my clothes gone.
Conversation is giving me wood. Right.
You know, crazy filmmaker into cross-dressing.
That is pretty much you.
yeah, that works. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So,
I'm even growing the tash in.
DC Universe,
Next week you'll be wearing a dress then, yeah?
Dark Universe.
Yeah, just smiling like that.
Like the 40s style.
Yeah.
You have the queef.
Can't do it.
Queef. I said queef.
Two very different
Going
things.
so well. That's
Smells
because
like
of you. With
overly vinegared fish.
that's the.
You
That's
have
because
a
you.
queef on your head.
That's because of the queef thing you said yesterday. That's stuck in my head. Yeah.
Tuna tornado.
Tuna tornado. Yeah, I once queefed a tuna tornado,
Yeah.
which was not the sign behind Theresa May at the conference.
Jesus, my heart goes out to her for a bit for that. Like she's struggling the whole way through with obviously she's really not well, coughing her fucking guts up. I don't have much sympathy for any politician ever, but for any human being having to fucking give a speech
Under serious flu.
and you've got that going on.
Maybe I'll
you've
just
got someone
cough.
trying to hand you a P45
Lee
and
Nelson,
then the
of all
fucking
people.
and the sign behind you is falling down. It just couldn't have been any worse.
That was just a doomed conference from the start, wasn't it?
Yeah, the P45 signed by Boris Johnson. What?
It's
Maybe I should cough all the way through.
the only
this
thing it will succeed doing is making her a little bit more sympathetic.
Yeah,
Really?
I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the sort of thing. If you struggle the way through it, people go, "Oh, look, they do." Like I just said, I felt a bit
Well,
sorry
that's
for
what
her.
I'm saying. Should I cough
Yeah.
all the way through this, and then people might?
No,
not
do you know what I
so
thought I was
you
gonna
can cough
be?
all the way through it, but then you have to edit it.
Which is, I thought about that as a gag, as a running gag, and then realised that would not work because
No.
he'd be very unhappy.
Yeah,
So it's like
because I'm the one that has to sit there with the headphones listening to it.
Yeah. So we dropped that.
Yeah, it's
No.
not a good. It's not.
I thought maybe it was a good setup, but no.
No.
So what's new?
Lots of stuff is new. We're in that time of year where lots of stuff is new.
Yes.
At last.
We're nearly there.
We have new TV. We have, I'm sure there are new movies. Games are starting to drib and drab. I think on Monday we've got Shadow of War, Middle Earth Shadow of War.
What's the Andy Serkis feature thing?
It's the follow-on to Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor, which was a hugely successful game and a good game at that. So hopefully this will be better. Forza 7 just came out as well. People are saying, oh, it's got really long loading times. Well, yes, that's because it's supposed to run on the Xbox One X, and at the moment it's been built around that as its flagship game, and the Xbox One X isn't out yet. So it will play on the Xbox One, but it's not going to run as fast because it isn't built to run as fast.
That just seems weird to me that you would release a game for a console that's not out yet. Really?
Well, it's not just for that console because it isn't like a new console. It's an extension on that console.
Okay.
You know.
That and there's obviously other platforms that it can be released on in the meantime, which is why they've done that.
And you don't want to be releasing everything in November because you've got a bigger competition. Whereas this week on Friday there was fuck all else out. So
Yeah, and there's a FIFA 18 came out in the last 2 weeks, didn't it, as well? I think.
yeah,
There's always a
game
FIFA.
out.
gives a shit honestly. But at this point, I'm done with sports games. I can't get excited about it at all. There's no variety.
Is she playing table football though?
And they become
Yeah.
worthless after 3 months. So what's the point in that?
Yeah, the trading value's 50 pence.
Yeah, I can get them free on the EA Vault anyway. So in a couple of months, it'll be free for me all the EA Sports games. So what's the fucking point?
That is fair. Direct yourselves towards Forza 7 then, in that case.
Star Wars Battlefront 2
Beta.
beta this weekend. Had a quick blast on that this morning. I got to play as Darth Maul. That was pretty wicked.
Okay.
Got to fly a
Literally.
TIE fighter and a TIE interceptor. That was fucking pretty great.
So, better than the first.
Difficult to say. It's a beta. I played fucking 20 minutes of it. So, at the moment, seems very much like the first one. But I
Okay.
enjoyed the first one. It's the campaign that I'm waiting for. That's what I want. That's the only thing that's going to make a difference. Oh, there are 3 times as many characters, 3 times as many maps. So
Yeah.
that's a good start.
Mhm.
But it's the campaign that I'm really looking forward to. That's what I want to play. I want a good story. You can also play arcade, what they call an arcade mode, where they set up challenges and you play as a single player or co-op and just against bots basically, which is cool as well. So if you don't feel you're ready for multiplayer straight away, then you can hone your skills with all different things on that mode, which is pretty cool.
So, it's looking like it could be better,
It should be better.
but it that's obviously remains to be seen.
Funny thing is, on PC Steam, someone relaunched the servers for Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh wow!
And people have been playing that in their droves online.
So the old Battlefront 2.
Slightly improved graphics and like more people available to play online than like previously could on one. I think you can have like 20 people at the same time now, whereas before I think it was about 10, maybe 12.
Yeah,
so that's interesting.
Great game.
Yeah, it is a great game, and basically what's going to happen is this new one's going to come out. People go, oh yeah, it's pretty good, but it's still not this. You've called it the same thing as this, but it's still not this. We want this because gamers and internet, no one's ever happy.
We're like Star Wars fans.
Well, this is Star Wars fans and gaming. You know what I mean? That's as potent a place for complaints as there could be.
Yeah. We're not fucking happy.
Yeah.
We're never happy.
That's the way that's going to go.
Sorry.
Well, that rocked then, wasn't it?
Just giving everything a bit of a...
Yeah, rocked.
Yeah.
I rocked everybody's world.
So yeah, people aren't going to like it, probably. And then eventually it will turn out they're still playing it anyway. Which happened with the first one.
There you go.
Yeah. First one, not as bad as people say it is. Is it a great game? No, not by any means. But at least now they've added a campaign, which was the same mistake they made with Titanfall, the first one. Yeah, it was alright, but it needed a bit more meat on its bones. No campaign. Titanfall 2 comes out. It's fucking awesome. They release it at a stupid time. No one plays it, which is a real shame. Again, go back, play Titanfall 2. You can probably pick it up dirt cheap now. Like, that game is
epic.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I know we said that a lot on this show, but seriously,
Well,
play it so we can get a Titanfall 3.
It's an endorsement. Because there is no Titanfall 3 unless people buy that game. So.
Yeah, that's the way that goes.
So we're going to keep pushing that envelope, to be honest, till you've all bought it. If you haven't, he's going to come for you. Yeah.
And we're like a week away, literally. A week away. Is it a week or 2 weeks? I think we're like 12 days away, so 2 weeks. Just under 2 weeks.
From?
South Park.
Of course we are.
Really
Finally.
looking forward to that. I don't even really like video games, but I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, that game.
That game's fun to watch. It's fun to play. It's going to be the same with this one.
Which is why we're streaming it. It's fun to watch. Like most of the
Hmm.
stuff we put on, honestly, I'm like, this is alright. But it's not as entertaining as something like that could be. And a lot of people are just going to want to play it for the story, but don't want to spend the money. So you can watch us do it.
Yeah,
Because
that'll
I've
work.
spent the money.
That'll work. That'll work. I'm going to be honest with you. The South Park trailer
2 and 3/4 years.
and the Battlefront 2 trailer, to be honest, did create some pant moisture. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. And
So,
then we're also less than a month away, as you say, from the Xbox One X releasing, which has got me very excited. We will be doing an unboxing that day when that arrives.
Yep.
So look for that on the 7th of Nov.
So we're kind of we're pretty stacked for a forthcoming broadcast, actually, because what with that, the Xbox, like you said, the unboxing, the South Park playthrough, I'm pretty certain we're going to do some Battlefront videos. It's well, that's not this year, is it? Is it
Yeah,
this year?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
this
later.
year. Yeah, it'll be later this year.
Yeah,
November.
so
Yeah, there'll be stuff
much to
come.
look forward to here at TGS.
So yeah.
Did you suddenly turn Italian then?
Especially if you
He
like.
was foreign. Like, I don't know whether you can narrow it down.
That was the closest.
I don't know whether you can
thought
narrow
it
it down to a
was.
region.
Especially if you like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, so he was just
Oh, kind of Russian-y.
Foreign.
Italian, Spanish-y, yeah.
I know not of what country I am from.
Yes.
You have to speak
Is
like
there a
that for the
country
rest
called
of the show.
Who knows?
Stop it now. Behave yourself.
So what's been happening in the world of silver screens?
3 films came out. One
There we go.
was caused all of the mainstream media worldwide to have out their penises. All of the successful plays and come.
They made New Year's Day 2.
No, no. There was a lot of praise and jism flying around for Blade Runner 2049.
Which, as we know, does not translate to people going to see it.
Yeah, well, this is this interesting debate we're having earlier, and we've had the last couple of weeks. Yeah. So on the one hand, we've got all these marvellous reports. I'm going to go serious just for a little minute. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of 5-star reviews, which is good because we haven't seen this for a while. It's actually outdoing La La Land with the 5-star reviews.
Oh.
You know La La Land got all those 5s. Well, Blade Runner 2049...
Yeah, but a lot of those have been retracted since, in fairness.
So Blade Runner 2049 has got more 5s in a shorter space of time. So ultimate super critical praise. Apparently it's the most perfect sequel ever made. Which means, you know, Empire Strikes Back and Godfather 2 are going to be given a run for their money.
I got some
points you want to add there, yeah, I know. Okay. So there's that. Now, on the other side... doing some homework this morning, reading that it's not on track.
Clearly, these people never saw Weekend at Bernie's 2.
So we've covered the critical element. Every critic loves it. Like every critic that's come into contact with it thinks it's the second coming. However, this morning's research, I've noticed, is that the reports are now coming back that it is apparently not on track for its projected box office for the weekend.
Yes,
that doesn't mean it's a flop.
Box office.
Yeah.
Might have been a thing in the early 90s.
So they obviously got designs on what they think it's going to take, whether or not that's based on critical acclaim. I'm sure that factored into
I'm
it
saying
somewhere.
go and see it.
Oh, absolutely.
If you haven't seen Blade Runner at all, watch Blade Runner.
Yes.
Forget the fact that you've got no clue what you just saw, and then go and see it, and then hopefully some of that will make more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd never seen it.
We're assured, though, that not all of the questions that are asked are going to be answered. So, in the tradition of Ridley Scott.
So we'll have about 600 more films that will each give us a bit more information.
So here's the thing. There were, obviously, critical acclaim is great, and it is great, but there are reasons why it's maybe not going to meet certain targets, and those reasons are twofold. One is the reason we've discussed many, many times already, which is...
People don't know what it is.
People don't know what it is. And although...
How many people are going to go there thinking this is the first film? And I guarantee you that's happening.
Now, although Denny has done a very, 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 very good job, I'm told, of feathering in the previous movie so that you know enough to understand what's going on, there's still going to be a huge, vast amount of people, because this is 35 years ago now?
Yeah.
82? 35 years ago. There's still going to be a lot of people that have absolutely no idea what Blade Runner is. Because unlike the likes of Star Wars and Indiana Jones and Marvel and all this kind of stuff, it's had reinvention somewhere along the way, enough to keep people in the consciousness of like, oh yeah, this was the thing. Blade Runner is a thing that's amongst diehard film fans iconic, and it's held in huge regard. But to the general audience, is it the same?
The only thing it really had was a computer game.
Yeah.
Which had nothing to do with it. It had a sequel in the form of a book, which is now completely debunked and has nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like as you say, Star Wars, even when it wasn't around, it was around.
Yeah, because it was consistent with books and comics and video games.
Yeah, you literally couldn't get away from it, could you?
Well, that's not true, actually. Blade Runner was always around in its many, 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 many recuts.
Oh, there's 7, actually. Did you know? 7. There are 7 cuts. I think 5 of which...
Some with voiceovers, some without voiceovers, some with unicorns, some without unicorns, some with endings, some without endings, some with a mixture of all 3, some with none of those.
Apparently the final cut is the definitive version to watch. If you've never... Actually, yeah, that's a good point. It is highly recommended that the final cut is the cut you should watch if you've never seen it before and you want to see 2049.
That's the one that you saw was the final cut.
Okay.
That's the cut you should watch if you're intending on then going out and looking at 2049. Which, by the way, you should. This is in no way an effort to derail Blade Runner's success. It is a fantastic movie. But this leads me on to my second reason.
Is Edward J. almost going to be in it?
I don't know.
Speaking street speak.
The second reason why this is going to struggle is because a lot of people are saying, well, they've been to see it this weekend already. She won't live. But then again... No. It's because a lot of people are coming back and going, don't bother, it's shit. Now...
That's because they don't know what it is.
They don't know what it is. It's not that it's shit. And by the way, just to reiterate, it is not shit.
It's just confusing.
It's confusing. And therefore, because someone doesn't understand it, they go, that was awful. And actually, what they mean, what your friends mean on Facebook is they didn't understand it, they didn't get it, and therefore, because of that, they
now what you've got to understand is the source material Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep was written by Philip K. Dick, one of the most convoluted writers, a genius, like absolute genius, but one of the most convoluted writers there is. Like, you read his stuff and you're like, whoa.
It's very
and
deep.
You have to read it again just to double check what's going on. And then, on top of that, the original had one of the most convoluted directors, a genius, but one of the most convoluted directors in the world, being Ridley Scott. And a lot of his stuff, you have to watch it a couple of times before you pick up on all the nuances.
And this is the same with Denis.
Well, yes.
He's a similar director.
So now you've got something that's based upon something by a very convoluted writer, produced by someone who previously directed, who was a very convoluted writer and director, and is now being directed by someone who is a very convoluted and, again, genius director. It's gonna be fucking confusing.
That's a lot of
It's
convolution.
very, very, very cerebral.
Yes.
It's very cerebral.
I mean, if it wasn't for fucking Sicario, I mean...
Sicario is... All of his movies, by the way,
I wouldn't
spectacular.
understand why the Broccoli's are going after Denis.
The broccoli's going after them, like little tree broccolis.
Yeah.
No. The Broccoli family, as in Eon Productions, as in the guys that run the James Bond franchise, do want Denis for a Bond movie. It's
So much more
But it's weird
amusing
to me
if-
that these are the movies that have got him
Broccoli's.
into that talking process.
like Prisoners, Sicario, Arrival, and now Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, but why they weren't thinking that after Prisoners and Sicario, I don't know. This more weird stuff, it is kind of odd that that's gone, oh, that's who we want to do it.
Sicario would be a better fit for a Bond audition, wouldn't it, I guess?
Big time.
Yeah.
Which is getting the sequel. Is he doing it, or is that somebody else doing it?
I'm not
the
sure.
Sequel? Yeah, I can't think of what it's called.
I'm not sure. A lot of people saying that that's a thing. Well, that would be great.
Yeah.
Say, personally, I love him, and this is a conversation that you and I had earlier. I love him. I think he's fantastic. He's definitely, for me, as a filmmaker, but he might not be for everyone. And I think that's where... But the same could be said for Ridley Scott.
I think he's far more credible than that dude that keeps trying to fucking win Oscars, like fucking... What's his face? He won Oscars for a couple of years in a row for two films that I thought were both wank. To be
Oh,
honest.
the guy that makes everything just look pretty, but there's no real
Yeah, no
story
substance
and
there at all. What's
the
his
guy
face?
that did The Revenant.
Yeah, The Revenant and fucking Birdman.
That guy.
Yeah, he
So
makes very
visually,
pretty
they
shit.
look brilliant. But
Yeah, he makes very pretty stuff that is generally soulless.
I like movies that make you think, and those didn't.
Yeah, they did make me think. I thought this could be an hour shorter. I don't need to look at this snow again.
No, or ants mating.
If I wanted to see snow that year, I just would have watched Hateful Eight again.
What a movie that is. Yeah. Western the Thing. And things like you say, Sicario, I love Arrival. I like movies that make me think like that and are very cerebral in that way. But they've all got well fleshed out stories. They are interesting and they're very human films and all that kind of stuff, which is bloody fantastic because I love that stuff. But that's the
fantastic.
discussion.
I think Sicario is still his best work.
It's a discussion point. A lot of people will, might not get it. It might go over their heads. And I think, to be honest,
I thought Arrival was great, but the
Runner,
fucking ending was kind of just went...
this whole conversation's going over my head.
But that's the thing. Was the first movie the same in the 80s? Was the first Blade Runner the same? Did it go over a lot of people's heads?
Yes.
So, it's reflective of that, I guess. But this...
Yeah, but honestly, like as I say, this is a talking point. Is that the thing you want to repeat? The bit where no one understood what it was. But everyone went and saw it anyway because they thought, Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Because that's why that film got a fucking audience in the first place. Had nothing to do with the director, had nothing to do with the story, had nothing to do with the setting.
Harrison
had
Ford.
everything to do with Harrison Ford on that poster at that time in the world.
Raiders.
Raiders and fucking...
New Hope.
And Empire.
Yeah.
They all sold that movie. Had nothing to do with, oh look, this is based on a Philip K. Dick novel. This is a Ridley Scott movie. Because really, it just wasn't the thing that sold it. In fact, the only thing that would have sold it as well is from the director of Alien.
Yeah. And then you get in that theatre and you realise, look, Howard's really good at this shit.
Oh yeah, and he's cheeky and hammy as shit in that movie. To the point he's good, he's hamming up like a fucking stage actor. Like, he's fucking great. The best thing in it. Without a doubt, he's the best thing in it.
This one's considerably longer than the first one as well. I think depending on which cut you're watching, of course.
And I like Blade Runner. I've seen it many, many times in many, many versions. I've owned it several times. As each time they released a new version. You know, the director's cut's shorter than the theatrical cut.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it's like
chopped out more stuff. It's one of the very few times that ever happened.
117
Normally the director's
minutes.
like, oh, I need to get some more stuff in. Whereas with Blade Runner, they're like, oh, no, we don't understand this. Give it a film noir voiceover. And honestly, I think that was a good idea. I just would have given it a different voiceover to the one it had. It was very odd. It's kind of odd. But then, having grown up in the 80s, when I watched like the final cut and that's not there, I miss it.
Yeah. But it feels like it should be there, even though it shouldn't be there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Maybe it does need maybe it does need someone to talk over it, but it needs to be rewritten.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or maybe someone else.
Yeah,
Because Ford, I think Ford wasn't. I don't know this as fact.
yeah.
so
So record it afterwards.
Yeah, but I would say this is rumour. I'm not going to say.
It's on the.
You know better because you watched the documentary.
Yeah.
Is it? Was he not? He wasn't up.
confirmed.
He wasn't up for the idea, wasn't he? He
No,
wasn't. He didn't want to do
like
it.
it.
He didn't like the idea.
Yeah.
In the same way that he will still staunchly say to this day, "I'm not a replicant." Although
No, he says he is.
he's no. It's
Ridley says he wasn't, or vice versa.
No, it's the other way around. No, Ridley insists that he is, and Ford insists that he isn't. And then, obviously, but there's more to that. This one's considerably longer. It's like nearly 3 hours.
The
long.
trailer, fucking for, one of the trailers for this,
2049.
yeah, gives away completely that Ryan fucking Gosling is a replicant
Oh really?
But
Which
maybe
one?
that's not a massive.
because he runs through a fucking wall.
Until we've seen it, though, you know, until we've seen it, we can't say much about that because it could be they tell you from the start he's a replicant.
Oh
and
yeah,
there's a
yeah, but
reason why,
I didn't want to know that before I went in.
I need to know that when I'm in there.
Yeah.
Not before.
Yeah,
That's almost like last shot in the trailer syndrome.
yeah, it's one of the. It's not so much the trailer is. It's a clip they're putting out on the press tour, and like Gosling runs through a wall, which is weird because the door was right next to him,
Maybe
and he was only a
just
couple of steps
really-
behind Ford, who ran through the door.
Maybe he's just a real strong motherfucker.
Even that though in itself is like, well, see, Ford took the door. He could be human.
And I heard the story of Ford punching Gosling.
Ford punched
like-
Gosling in the face.
Yeah, during one
you
of those
can
scenes.
see the photos of it online.
And it's
funny.
brilliant because Ford's kind of like,
Oh shit!
and Gosling's like that.
And Gosling looks like he's half unconscious and still in midair, doesn't he?
It's a good.
It is
You can probably
genuinely
find
funny.
it online somewhere, so have a look.
Yeah, and then
Nice.
watch Michael B. Jordan getting hit in
That's
Creed.
awesome. I love that
Stallone?
so much. Who was it by? Which boxer?
Tony, what's his face? The Scouser,
Oh, no, I
the one
can't
that
think
beat
of
David
his-
Hay. Can't think of his name.
surname. But literally, he was what's his name? Michael
B. Jordan.
Yeah, he said to him, "I need to know what it's like to be hit by a real
Only because
boxer."
Stallone told him he needed to know
Yeah.
what it was like to be hit
So
by
he
a
said,
real boxer.
and the boxer guy was like, "I really don't want to do it."
So
he
he's
was
just
like, "No, it's
throwing
fine."
punches, and then Jordan just
literally
steps into it.
and he just flies, and
Oh,
then
he's-
is just
he's
on
knocked
the
the
floor.
fuck out.
Yeah,
It wasn't even a full-on punch.
Was that like the Stallone was setting it up saying if you're going to be method, you got to be method. Like you've got to take some punches. You got to know how that feels.
yeah.
So that
and
you can-
he just
Because Stallone did the
knocked-
same thing, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
But he ended up in intensive care, though, didn't he?
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren nearly fucking killed him.
Yeah. He said, just punch me. Was it in the chest? And
Yeah.
he punched him like in the heart, pretty much. And
Jesus.
yeah,
Almost
intensive
killed
care
him.
jobby.
Jesus.
So the moral of that story is don't fuck with Dolph Lundgren.
I was going for more, don't be a method actor, but that works as well.
So yeah, I don't know. If you've seen Blade Runner 2049 already, let us know. Many reports that it's a visual masterpiece, that it's stunning, it's the greatest sequel ever made, that it rivals the first one in terms of technological achievement, in terms of story and depth and character.
Let us know if you understood it.
The best sequel ever made, which means in theory that then it would come above Empire Strikes Back and Godfather Part 2.
Which sounds like bullshit to me.
Is it that movie?
No.
I
I imagine it's very, very good, but the best sequel ever made. They're so quick to put these fucking labels on it.
Well,
like,
they do it with everything
this is fucking
nowadays.
amazing. This is brilliant. This is fantastic. It's going to win an Oscar. It won an Oscar. It didn't win an Oscar.
How many
it's not as
times
good.
in the last few years have we had
This many fives.
Advertising.
Loads. There's been
of
loads
horror
of fives in the
films
last couple of years.
saying that it's going
Five,
to be
five,
the-
five, 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 fives.
You said
I'm
the same
just
thing.
not-
We got it on record. You
I'm
said the
just
same
not
thing a couple of
gonna
weeks
speak
ago.
today.
For
I'm just going to sit
when
silently.
Ian was on. What was the film? Mother. No one went and saw that either.
All those fives, yeah, actually.
They fucking
but-
died.
Thank you.
And then I
thank you.
said,
You've just,
you
yeah,
said, when was the
thank
last
you.
time we had that many fives? I said, I don't know, Baby Driver, and which again, no one went and saw it. Like, Baby Driver was fucking great. No one saw it. It was fucking awesome, and everyone gave it fives. Like every director in the fucking world worth their salt came out and said this film is worth wanking on. Like we've had so many films like that in the last 2 years. Where it's like, oh yeah, this is a 5-star film. This is a 5-star film. This is a 5-star. There's been more 5-star movies. You can go. You can check it. The stats are there in the last 2 years than they have in the last 10.
So with Mother,
In the last 10 before that. Yeah.
like, do you think this is going to be on that level, like Mother, where it's
Oh no, it'll
huge?
do better than Mother.
I think it, would, yeah, because it's Blade Runner.
Well, let's face it. I could put fucking come and view this pile of shit with a stick in it outside, and it'll do better than Mother. Like,
just reminded me of something.
no one went and saw it. No one. Well, you saw it, but you know that's your job.
Yeah, well, this
Given
this
the
is-
choice to
this
see
is-
it, like if you were a paying customer like Joe Schmo and all that lot out there, and you had the choice of going to see Mother or fucking I don't know Thor Ragnarok or fucking any of these other fucking movies, you choose the fucking spectacle,
Of course.
and that's the problem with cinema.
If you said to me right now, do you want to watch Mother or do you want to watch Blade Runner? I was going to say Blade Runner.
Oh fuck yeah,
Not because of the hype, because Blade Runner.
yeah. But if you said to any teenager, do you want to go and see Blade Runner? Do you want to go see Thor Ragnarok?
They're going to go for Thor
They're
Ragnarok.
going to go see Thor Ragnarok.
Of course they are.
Ragnarok.
Oh, so identifiable characters.
Yeah,
And Hulk.
yeah. They're the modern day mythologies. You don't
They
need to
are.
do old stuff. You
So-
just there's. I know people are saying there are too many comic book movies, but there are a fucking ton of comic books and graphic novels out there,
And
that
they're
one's
still getting
touched.
made.
Like no one's touched them. They're nowhere near touching them. Like, would it be fucking like odd if someone made an animated movie of Mouse? Like, that would be fucking like intense. It would win all the Oscars. You know, an animated movie of the Holocaust told through mice and cats. Like, that's a graphic novel that's out there that no one's touched. You know, there are tons and tons of characters that are just fucking like. Honestly, it's really touching. It's heartbreaking. It's a real good way to show stuff. But again, people just think comic means what we're getting hold of. They don't realise
Yeah.
stuff like Road to Perdition was a fucking comic book. That fucking History of Violence was a comic book. Eastern Promises was based on a comic book. They don't know this sort of stuff. Eastern Promises is getting a sequel.
As it should.
So
Yeah, I like. Do you know what? That's the thing. Talking about Mouse. That's the thing. That should happen because there's a film I gave a 5 to recently, a stop motion animation movie Cool.
Kubo.
called called My Life
Gave
as a
that
Courgette.
5 as well.
That's a 5, but there's a stop motion animation movie called My Life as a Courgette, and it's based on actually
Pickle Rick.
no.
Pickle Rick.
It's actually based on a really serious book about
Pickle Rick.
No, it's about child abuse actually.
Okay.
And
Pickle Rick's about fucking child abuse as well.
Well,
Like, if Rick and
what a
Morty isn't
cool-
about child abuse, I don't know what is.
but it's about these kids, and they go to a foster home, and then they kind of work out the differences, and then band together. But they're all there for a purpose. Every one of them is there because of something really horrible that happened to them. And what they decided to do, instead of make an adult movie about an adult book, they went, let's bring this down into like a way that's accessible to families and make it a stop motion animation. So it's got some very serious undertones, but not so in your face as the book would have been.
Yeah.
And told it in a childlike way. And I love that kind of invention. The way they've gone, well, we need to kind of put this out there that, you know, the message to kids is it's all right, you've got friends, stick together, you know, there's love and support and friendship can be found in the strangest of places and at the bleakest of moments, and all these kind of messages, and putting that into a kind of essentially an animated movie, a stop motion animated movie. I thought that idea was genius, considering the subject matter was so serious. So yeah, I think your idea about that being made into an animated movie
There's a
is
ton
thing.
of, there's a ton of
Yeah.
stuff out there to gleam off of. So, and then if you fucking lean into the fact, right, as a film company, that it is based on a graphic novel, you're far more likely these days to get an audience. Right? Rightly or wrongly. Wrongly. But that's the way that would work. You know? We don't need to just keep fucking going back and remaking shit and trying to come up with like 30-year-old sequels, which seems to be the thing now. It's not remakes anymore, it's 30-year-old sequels.
5 minutes before we went live, do you know what I found out? There's a discussion amongst...
Top Gun 2's been greenlit, 30-year-old sequel.
Right, but get this. There were critics discussing on Twitter Flatliners.
30-year-old sequel?
5 minutes before we came on air. Turns out...
Well, not quite 30 years, but close.
Everybody was discussing how they'd sort of seen it or how they'd come across it, and it turns out no one screened it because there wasn't a press screening for it. They just didn't bother.
It came out?
It just came out. No screening. No screening. Nobody had a press screening. I thought, maybe I just missed it. Turns out nobody got screened that movie. Nobody. They just released it.
Did Ninjago come out yesterday?
Ninjago's next week.
Next week. See, there's a film like releasing with no fucking fanfare whatsoever either.
No press screening of
that
Flatliners.
One doesn't make sense because of the success of Lego Movie and Lego Batman. Why isn't there a bigger fucking showing for Lego Ninjago? Who has dropped the ball at Warner?
I'm not sure because I've only only now have they gone heavy in on the marketing, but that's like the week before. Apart from that, I guess we saw the trailer for Lego. Did you get the trailer for Lego Batman? Same as everybody else. Yeah.
Thing is, Lego is Universal, yeah.
Yeah.
Batman is Universal. Ninjago is known by 5-year-olds.
Ninjago is a popular toy line, but not Batman.
Not Batman. Not pure Lego by itself. No.
So it's deep cuts.
It is
for serious Lego fans.
I'm sure. I mean, it's got like Jackie Chan and all the rest of it. Like, I'm sure it's going to be funny. I'm positive it's going to be a good movie and it's going to be worth seeing. But the fact of the matter is how do you sell that to people like us? We saw Lego Batman. We're going to see fucking Lego Batman.
Because it's Lego Batman.
Yeah.
It's Lego and it's Batman.
We went to see it for our anniversary. Lego Batman. That's one we're going to go see.
I don't know what that dance was about.
Right, and then, but Ninjago...
Everything is awesome.
As funny as the trailer is, Ninjago just... It's like, oh yeah, that's the thing my nephews have talked about in the past for like maybe 5 minutes. Yeah. But now they're all playing with Lego Batman toys.
Because of Lego Batman.
So
that was a thing. The weekend Lego Batman opened, we went for a McDonald's and we were sat in the car park. We were eating the McDonald's in the car, and there were people coming out of Toys R Us in droves with Lego Batman stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that movie served its purpose in terms of merchandising, certainly.
But they needed to make this one more in your face than
I think the Flatliners thing. Going back to the Flatliners thing, I think I agree with that. But I think the Flatliners thing is just because it's bloody awful. Like, it's terrible.
Point Break came out. Who knew when Point Break?
Because they kept moving the release date. It was going to be December, then it was going to be January, then it was going to be February.
They should have moved it to never. They should never have made it.
But Flatliners is universally loathed, and like I think kind of studios have got to the point now where going, oh, this is fucking terrible. We're not going to let this anywhere near critics.
Stop giving a fuck about old stuff. Like, I think there should be a statute of limitation, right? But in reverse. Like, if you make a film, if you want to do a sequel for it, it's got to be within 10 years of that film being out. Otherwise, you're going to miss the boat.
Oh, like the whole Marvel licensing thing. If you haven't done anything with it in 10 years, you've got to give it back.
Or yeah, you just got to leave it alone. Leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah, if you haven't sequeled it in 10 years, it's dead.
Another rule, obviously, is if your wife just wants to be in a movie, you shouldn't make a sequel.
We're going to fucking get back to Jaws again, aren't we?
I know, it's a piece of shit. Like, and that annoys me. It's the ultimate form of fucking, like, trying to get a fucking blowjob on your birthday. That is... I'm not saying I don't understand it. Like,
I was going to say, I'm sure. I
understand his motives. They make so much fucking sense.
If you were a filmmaker, I'm sure I could make you make a sequel just so I can be in it. I'm pretty sure I could achieve that.
Yeah.
Isn't that basically how Underworld movies kept coming out?
I think so, yeah.
But so he could like still have stuff for his wife to be in. It's the same with fucking Resident Evil.
Same deal.
Yeah, exactly the same deal.
Except
Different wife, obviously, but
yeah, except they're not the guy.
That would be bigamy otherwise.
yeah. Oh, fucking Len Wiseman is doing that fucking Die Hard thing as well. What the
Oh,
fuck?
bless him.
Well, someone just put Len Wiseman in a box.
He didn't do
not
5,
open.
by the way. Somebody said the other day, they were like, "Oh yeah, Len Wiseman ruined the last 2." And I was like, "Oh, hold on a minute. He only did number 4.
Oh,
he didn't do any others."
That doesn't forgive you.
No, I know, but he didn't. I think he was getting accused of being involved with 5, and it's like, nope, it was not him. 5 was not his doing.
No, but if there hadn't been a 4, there wouldn't have been a 5, and that's just fucking logic.
The first 3 are... The thing is, 4 and 5 make 2 look really, really strong.
Yeah, yeah, they do. Yeah. I mean, 2's like 80s acceptable bad, isn't it?
2 is just a remake.
Yeah.
It's just an incomplete.
But that's how they
remake.
used to do sequels. That's how they used to do it in the 80s and 90s.
It's the
We'll just
same.
basically rehash this,
It's the same movie.
but we'll twist one thing.
Yeah.
Instead of being a New York cop who's in LA, now he's an LA cop who's in New York. Ah! Twisted! It's a different movie.
Before we move on from the...
Instead of stuff shrinking really small, we're going to take one kid and make it really big. It's a different movie. Ah! These are the meetings that used to happen.
Speaking of studios, just one more thing on that other subject before we move on from it. I asked for some discs from Paramount of Baywatch and Transformers: The Last Night.
Speaking of films that people didn't see, Baywatch.
And apparently they didn't make any discs.
Well, no, because if you've already lost 50 million, they're not going to fucking spend money on discs.
They're not issuing discs to the press
That's
for
because
those
they can't
movies.
afford to. Like, Transformers
because
does...
they don't
Transformers...
want us to watch those
no,
films.
yeah, but Transformers, I think there's more of a case of they don't need to. People will buy it no matter what. With Baywatch, they don't want to because they've already lost 50 million and basically it's come down. They can't spend any more money on that than they fucking have to.
They could give me a link.
They're better off just releasing the movie and seeing what happens.
They definitely don't want us to watch it either because they just give us a link.
And Baywatch isn't as clever as like some people say it is.
They won't give us a link.
It's not. Watch Chips. Chips is funnier.
Chips is great.
It's got way more dick and fart jokes, and it's not just like make the same joke. Like this is Baywatch. Like blah 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 rock blah 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 Zac Efron blah blah blah. We're not supposed to be able to arrest people. Blah blah blah. We're not supposed to be able to arrest people. We're just lifeguards. Blah blah blah. We're not supposed to arrest people. We're just lifeguards. Blah blah blah. Do some weird fucking urchin drug, like Hulk the fuck out. Blah blah blah. We're not supposed to arrest people. We're just lifeguards. The end. That's Baywatch.
It was entertaining though.
It just wasn't that funny.
I rested on a 2, pushing a 3 for that
I
movie.
thought
Yeah,
it
I'd
looked
say
really.
3.
The
Fair.
funny thing is, right, is I was really looking forward to it. You saw the trailer and went,
Yeah.
right, which again is probably to their fault as well because there are people that just went, "What the fuck is this?" Also, again, how old is Baywatch now? The generation of people that generally pay to go and see frat style comedies. What, you know, so say 15 to 25.
Ish. I'd say
Did
more
not
like...
see Baywatch.
Yeah, I would say I would say 13 to
So
25.
spoofing
actually.
on something that people haven't seen is why
Yeah,
stuff like
to
Starsky
be-
and Hutch didn't do very
To
well.
be fair though, and this is
Which James Gunn's now making a TV show.
Yeah, but that's great because
I
now
went-
people can see the TV show.
I went into a shop
James
where
Gunn.
there was a copy of Baywatch, and next to it there was a copy of the original, one of the old original Baywatch nights things. Do you know what I mean?
That ended up having vampires and shit in it.
I was more tempted to buy the original Baywatch night
So did my Saturday night.
than I was the new film. And don't get me wrong, it was entertaining, but I'd still rather watch the original because yes, it was cheesy, yes, it was shit, but
It was also 20 years too late.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was what it was, and it was.
See, this is the
It's
thing with Blade Runner.
interesting to
Apparently,
see as
Blade,
well.
Runner, Blade Runner
Apparently,
isn't 20 years too late.
This also means that putting The Rock in it doesn't guarantee you money.
Yes.
That's the first time we've seen that.
Oh, thank you.
There's a chink in his armour.
Yes, you've just triggered another story that I'd forgotten about. There's
He
Tyrese.
got fucked up the arse by The Rock.
No.
Got
Tyrese
fucked in the mouth by the Rock.
Tyrese Gibson is throwing a lot.
Can you smell The Rock
Tyrese
on
Gibson.
John's breath?
Tyrese Gibson is throwing a lot of shade at The Rock at the moment.
Oh, really? Is it going to be like fisticuffs?
No,
Well,
he had a
Fast-
blowjob in the shade from The Rock.
No.
Oh, so his breath
Fast-
smells of the Rock.
So Fast 9. Is that where we're at now?
Yeah.
Fast 9's been delayed, which we discussed earlier in the week, but not in any great detail. It's been delayed because The Rock and Jason Statham are doing a Fast spin-off, just the two of them,
Right.
which is now really upset.
Because they were the two most interesting characters in Fast
So,
8.
so
Okay, but
The
I
most
get that.
successful
But
Fast
they've
movie
also,
ever.
yeah, but they've still only been in a couple. What about all the?
the original.
I can understand.
Look
Gibson-
on Tyrese
fairness.
Gibson's Instagram for the full story.
Oh, I'm going
We'll leave
to.
it there.
As soon as we finish this, I'm
Yeah,
going to
look
go and
for
have a
the
look.
full story.
I talked about this weeks ago.
But apparently they've held up. They're a bit pissed that they've held up their movie just so that Dwayne can go off and do a movie with Jason, still in the same universe. So the rest of the team are like, "Fuck this! Why have you
I
made
don't
it all
blame
about?
them.
That's the way the conversation was going. Why have you made this all about you, Dwayne?"
Well, I don't think he did. I think the fucking test groups and all the rest of it who came out of the movie go, you know what, Jason Statham and The Rock were the best things in that fucking movie. And they were.
So Universal
Jason
have gone,
Statham was better than The Rock in that movie.
why don't we
Only in
make a
the
movie
baby
with
scene.
just
Doesn't matter
Rock?
what scene it was in, he was better than The Rock.
But
He was the
that's
most
only
entertaining
one
thing on
scene,
screen.
You know.
There's some proper hard-boiled shit going on in that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was tequila in it, like, across the board.
Yeah.
Well, that's the main character in Hardboiled. It's why wouldn't Paramount go right?
Universal.
Sorry, we're basically fucking suffering up the arse with everything else that's going on. We've got one really, really, really successful franchise. Let's fucking make as much out of it as we can, because there is only so many times you can see a slowly fucking age-denying Vin Diesel just
Yeah, but let's be
growl
fair.
his
This,
way through a movie.
let's
Like, there
be
is
fair.
only so many times you can see that.
this Rock and Statham film, it's going to be exactly the same, just without Vin Diesel and the rest of them.
Yeah, that's right. Which means they've got to pay people less, and they'll take just as much money. It's it's the financial dream.
Yeah. So there's going to be a spin-off movie which is just focused on those two characters,
Instead-
which will delay Fast 9.
Instead of having to pay 15 people, they got to pay 2.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people in the Fast franchise right now.
Yeah.
A lot of names. Scott Eastwood and
they're-
Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, they're all. Kurt Russell for five minutes. I imagine he makes quite a bit of money. You know.
Can someone just answer me this question?
Go on.
Something I was wondering during the week, and you bringing up Kurt Russell, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Kurt Russell has been acting. We kind of worked out that he's like the original child actor, and he's carried on since he was a child all the way through.
Not the original. We worked out that he's the one that's been around the longest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
ever.
literally kind of just gone with it. Right, so why is it he's only recently, him and Goldie Hawn got their stars on the Walk of Fame? Okay?
It is weird. Chris Pratt got his before.
So I don't understand
Kurt
that.
Russell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that actually a thing?
Yeah.
Because
that happened
they
this
had
week.
them placed together next to each other, which was quite sweet as well, I thought. Goldie Hawn and...
Don't remake Overboard. Oh, shit. It's
Oh,
too
yeah,
late.
that's already happening.
Yeah, I don't understand how these
What a classic.
brilliant,
An MGM classic that is.
iconic actors haven't got their stars, and yet all these newcomers are just getting them, like...
How bizarre. I didn't
Very
know that.
odd,
Because
yeah.
you just
You
assumed
would
Kurt
assume.
Russell's got one already.
Yeah, but I felt
Right.
the same way when John Goodman got his.
Yeah, he only got his like a few months ago.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
mad.
because
I
Jeff
don't...
Bridges came up.
That's it. It
Yeah.
surprised him, didn't he? You're right. It didn't turn up as the
Whoever
dude.
That,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever the
Now,
group
that's a
is,
legend.
The board that I think they need to...
Is it Ampus?
I don't know.
care.
They need to sort themselves out though, I think. Don't get me wrong, Chris Pratt is a good actor.
Chris Pratt's amazing. Oh, he deserves one. There's no
Yeah,
question.
But he's not a Kurt Russell, is he? Let's be fair.
Yeah, not yet. One day, but not yet.
Yeah. That's why they cast him as his dad.
But as I say, the casting process for that was who would we have cast as Star-Lord if this was made back in the 80s?
Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to look at it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who would we have cast? Who would we cast Kurt Russell? I'm really looking forward to to contradict everything I just said. Right, I'm really looking forward to the remake of Escape from New York.
Do you need a spade?
Yes, but I shall give you the reasons I'm looking forward to Escape from New York.
Alright.
Right, Escape from New York was going to happen no matter what, yeah?
Yep.
So, Robert Rodriguez, Escape from New York is his all-time favourite film. The first film he ever made, he used the soundtrack as a background for the models that he was using on record. So he thought, well, if this is going to get made, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring, because basically I don't ever want this film to be made, and if someone's going to have to make it, I'd rather it be me.
In a protective, no, I don't want anyone else to fuck this up kind of way.
Yeah. So then goes himself to John Carpenter and says, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and like, get this. Is that cool with you? And he's like, yeah. It's like, he said, if anyone was going to do it, I'd want you to do it. It's like, fine. So off we go to the races. And then all you got to do is look at something like Planet Terror and think Rob Rodriguez doing Escape from New York. It's worth being excited about, I think. Anybody else, I'd be like, no way. His reasons for doing it are the same reasons that I say they shouldn't do stuff like that. He's like a case of, well, this shouldn't be happening.
So that's your defense.
But you've just outlined the reasons why I was completely okay with Blade Runner, because I was like, I don't know about this, and then they went, Denny's going to do it, and I went,
oh yeah,
I'm alright with that.
No. That would stand up. That would stand up completely, right? If they were making Escape from New York 3.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're not.
They're restarting it. So it's not a sequel. Whereas Blade Runner
is a sequel.
Is a sequel. It's a 30-year-old sequel. Who the fuck? You know what I mean? That would be like... And that's a really bad example. But it didn't do anywhere near the success of the original. So it's, alright. Return to Oz in comparison to Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Right? All-time classic. 30-year sequel.
I agree with that.
Didn't work.
Even though I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well.
I like it, but it's not a patch on.
It's my kind of dark, that one.
Yeah.
Do you like the little wheelies?
It's Burton-esque.
Yeah, it's quality. But it didn't work. So that was the earliest 30-year sequel I could think of.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's an alright film. It's entertaining, but it's not a patch on.
The first one was, yeah.
Nothing will ever come close to the original.
I mean, let's can you imagine if 30 years after Serpico fucking they made a sequel to that? Like, he was like days away from retirement and all the rest of it. It's just, and then the people who would have gone to see that film at that time, they had no clue what fucking Serpico was, and that is the problem. 30 years is a long time between fucking movies. Oz was one of the biggest films ever that got passed by generation by generation by generation by generation and still didn't perform well. Oz the Great and Powerful, like almost another 30 years on from that, didn't perform well.
Again, even though it was a fantastic film.
Yeah. If they'd made that film a little while after Return to Oz,
probably
the home video views and the passing round and the families watching together, that might have done a lot better. Not that they could have done it because they didn't have the technology.
It's like if they pull a Goonies sequel now.
Which they're still on and off
Again,
about, aren't they?
yeah,
Whether it's going to happen.
Goonies is a good comparison to that because everybody knows the Goonies. It's been passed down in generation, down in generation, down in generation. But the point is why? What'd you do?
Why would you... Yeah.
If you haven't done it now, I don't want to see like nearly 50-year-old fucking like Corey Feldman like going down a fucking well or something. I don't want to see that.
What were you going with?
Corey Feldman climbing into a...
Sean Astin gets stuck in that well. Like, bless him, you know. His ego would catch him there. I'm surprised he hasn't directed it himself by now, to be honest.
Welsh Chunk would just slide down easily.
Yeah,
because now he's definitely not Chunk.
No,
and he definitely wouldn't do it because he's definitely never acting again.
Good on him.
Uh,
Although he's become a lawyer for actors, though, hasn't he?
They'd have
Is
to
he
spend
like
all their budget just getting Josh Brolin to do it.
Oh, I love that man so
Because his price tag is just about to go through the roof. Like,
much. Josh Brolin.
in the next year, he's going to be in Deadpool and the Avengers. Like,
Anything that gets him
his
on
price
screen, I'm
tag is
happy
just
with.
going to be fucking huge after those two events.
Can you just add Josh Brolin and a heart now? About here.
About there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be for Josh Brolin for
I
a
know,
moment
probably
there.
like making probably like making some weird and wonderful face now.
That'll be like Tommy
The Goonies are good enough. You don't need a
Good
sequel.
enough. But
She's still about. She'll do a follow-up song.
good enough.
Yeah.
I fucking love Cyndi Lauper too.
Yeah.
There was just everything about that film, the soundtrack, the just everything.
She is great, but she will
fucking
work for
works.
food now.
You'd be mean about her.
A little bit.
That's
I'm
not
a little bit
kind.
mean about everybody.
That is not kind.
True. I love her.
No, she's great. She's one of my. She should have had the career that Madonna did.
Yes,
Just-
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Madonna is just an overrated Cyndi Lauper ripoff.
I found a movie that I liked Madonna in. I
you?
forgot. Well, because normally she's like.
Let me see if I
King
can.
Susan wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
Guess
let me
what
see
it
if
is.
Let me see if I can
I
guess.
can't even remember what film she's been in. Dick Tracy.
I found a Madonna movie.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
found a movie with
it's not
Madonna
the-
in.
it's not Die
not,
Another Day.
not
It's
Castaway, the other stranded one. Is
Swept
that?
away. It's
I was
definitely not
reminded of
do I
one
think?
time I really liked her in a movie.
that. Who's that girl?
No.
Is it an old one?
Are you thinking because I had the
or-
vinyl soundtrack that that's the
Give,
reason
give
why?
us a clue.
No.
Is it an older one or a newer one?
It's older, definitely older.
What other ones are there?
It's not Evita, is it? No.
I have to admit.
No, because I only like that movie for Antonio Banderas.
Yeah,
I
Antonio
just-
Banderas is the best thing in that
Yeah.
movie.
I can't think of any other old ones that
Is
she
it-
was in.
Is it the one where she gets jizzed on by Willem Dafoe?
Nope. Body of Evidence.
That's the one.
How do I? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask.
See, you know what I'm talking about from that description.
Are there any others?
Very telling.
Oh, there must be. Seen it many times, have you? No, I really don't have a clue now.
Nah, Sharon Stone was the queen of legal porn in those days.
That's because, you know, your acting's up to that standards. She's a good actress. Just above porn acting.
I give up.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
know which.
League of Their Own.
Ah!
Gina
You know what?
Davis
Yeah,
and Tom
I
Hanks.
fucking love that film.
Yeah.
And I
There's
don't
no
even know why I
crying
couldn't
in
think of
baseball!
Yeah.
yeah, no, that I'm going to watch that later.
Do you know what?
actually,
Yeah.
or tomorrow because I love it.
That movie is
That'd be a
great.
good Sunday movie.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is-
gonna watch
it's a
it
great
tomorrow.
movie, and actually,
And I
she
can't believe
doesn't
I forgot
fucking
it.
annoy me in that movie at all.
No, she's genuinely
She's genuinely good in that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
she-
like, I found
No,
the
this is,
fucking.
Gina Davis and Laurie Petty, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Rosie O'Donnell,
Yeah, but fuck her though.
Tom Hanks.
I fucking hate her.
And that old guy that seems to
Think
be in
how
everything
good the
for a
fucking.
while.
Think how good the Flintstones cast could have been if it hadn't
Oh,
been for
and-
Rosie O'Donnell.
Who at Bill Pullman?
Like Betty, who should we get for Betty?
he's in it,
oh,
isn't
big
he?
fat lesbian. That's what we should get for Betty.
Bill
He's-
Pullman.
he's-
Bill Pullman.
he's the
Bill
husband.
Pullman. Bill Pullman.
Man.
Bill Pullman.
Yeah, he was in it.
He's Bill Pullman's been in some great stuff that people forget about.
I always used to get him and Bill Paxman mixed up though because they were both
Paxman.
Paxton. May
I've
God
got
rest
his
his
job.
soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used
Jeffrey
to get.
Paxman in Aliens.
Can you imagine that? He would just talk them to death. They'd be taking. The aliens would be taking their own lives.
Obviously.
But
But why?
Yeah.
Why must you gestate upon everybody? Why?
Yeah. It's, oh my god. I'd kill myself.
Must be the dry heat.
Watching I tell you what, like I was starkly reminded of 2016 because I was watching Agents of Shield season 4.
Mhm.
Right, because I hadn't got around to watching it yet, and generally it's not the sort of thing you can follow from week to week because it's so fucking confusing.
You gotta watch those in one go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then throughout it, it's like dedicated to our friend Bill Paxton, dedicated to our friend Powers Booth, and it's like fuck, A, there's been a lot of people in this show, and B, a lot of people died in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
In 2017, it's crazy.
Did you know that Harry Dean
Stanton.
had died?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't. I mean, it was only last month, but
Yeah.
So he was
our fault.
working
We
right up
cursed
until the
him.
day he popped his clogs at 91 years old. That's
that's our fault. We cursed
It's gonna be weird not to just see Harry Dean Stanton pop up. And the thing is, he's looked 91 for at least fucking 40 years.
Yeah, bless him.
He had. Like, look, he looks ancient in fucking Alien, and that's a film from the fucking 70s.
Well, he was in his 50s then.
Yes,
That's what I mean. He's just.
He looked the same in Twin Peaks. Like
Oh, bless him.
a few weeks ago, we saw him in an episode of that.
But like Patrick Stewart and Tommy Jones, they've been the same age forever.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Since, like, I saw Volcano again the other day. Saw Volva. What? Where was that go? My brain went lava, volcano, and I went vulva. No, volcano. I saw Volcano the other day.
Hot
And realised
spewing crevices, that's what you were thinking
that's the one, yeah. And I thought he looks the same age as he does like now.
about. But he looked like Tommy Lee Jones in that movie.
I know. Tommy Lee Jones has been Tommy Lee Jones all this time. Who'd have thought? No, but do you remember the year? We were trying to work out what year it was. Was it 94 or 93? Where
Honestly,
Tommy Lee
at
Jones
this point-
was in absolutely every movie out that year.
If you photoshopped the scrotum onto Tommy Lee Jones's face, would anyone notice?
I love him.
His faces look like a wrinkled scrotum. With a mouth and eyes, that's it.
What was that year that Tommy Lee Jones was in?
He started to look like a Shar-Pei that's been in the bath too long.
Oh, I would so love to see that. I really would like
Shaved.
to see that.
Oh. Stop it!
Just like your scrotum when it's really cold, it just becomes that fucking like ribbed fucking texture. All sucks in, and your bollocks look like a Klingon's forehead.
So I can't really join in this conversation because.
And if you painted one side, one bollock pink, you just recreate fucking Batman Forever.
Stop
I'm
now.
too pissed.
You actually get your nuts out now and paint one of them and do the whole Two-Face sketch. I'll be the Riddler. That's the deal. And I can just sit around going, I am no longer Jim Carrey. Anyway.
People STDs.
Yep.
How do you carry on after
Carry on.
that?
It's been quite the carry on, hasn't it?
It has.
Cast Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman, don't you? That's how you carry on. Just double down on the nipples. Notice they took the nipples off the suit. The second Batgirl got a suit. Coincidence?
Yeah, because it's alright for men to walk around shirtless. That's deemed appropriate.
Sexist.
Women, if I was to walk around with no t-shirt on,
I think
probably
more
be
women.
arrested.
Yes, but she could have had superimposed nipples like the men did.
I think more
Yeah, but
women
that's what
should
I'm
be allowed to
saying.
walk around with their shirts off.
that's what I'm saying.
I think it
though,
should be
it's not
equal
deemed
rights for
appropriate,
everyone.
isn't it?
Anywho.
Alright.
Getting on your political
They
rant
could have just
there.
sculpted a camel toe in or something.
Oh.
Yeah, but again,
How did we get here?
you're missing my point.
Bat camel girl.
Camel bat.
Oh dear.
Oh, wow. Oh, God, right, okay. Where were we?
Right, no, raising our children forcefully vegetarian.
I didn't mean society. I didn't mean where are we?
And feeding them from their own mouths like a bird.
Alicia Silverstone
That's
does that.
Yeah, that's the connection.
Yeah, she chews up her kids' food.
right,
and,
yeah.
Spits into their mouths.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why they don't have a career anymore.
You know, she
As a
actually-
mother, is she clueless? Oh.
Had to get it in there somewhere.
Yeah. Do it.
We try and get some more references in, but let's face it, they're basically the only two.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Where were we? I genuinely have lost
Trying to
track.
think of ways to jam Aerosmith videos into this conversation.
Yeah, she was in quite a lot of those, wasn't she?
3. She was
Yeah.
in the amazing trilogy of films Crying and Crazy.
Yeah, that's only 2.
No, Amazing, Crying and Crazy.
Oh, I
Amazing,
didn't hear you.
Amazing was the first one.
I didn't. I thought you meant they were amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just being really quiet for a moment so you could superimpose like frame shots of her in those videos about where my face is.
Okay.
Is that because you want Alicia Silverstone on your face?
No, in my lap.
Back then, yeah, sure.
Did I now?
Yeah, she pretty much
Yeah, but
looks exactly
she'll try and
the same.
feed you food that she's chewed already, and that's where the flavour is in the chewing.
I never thought of it like that.
Just all you're going to eat is flavourless, covered in somebody else's spit pap.
What about prawns?
Imagine the first time her kids become fucking adults and go out and fucking buy a Big Mac, their head's going to fucking explode. What the
All this
taste?
flavour!
Well, fuck it, a piece of naan bread's probably got more flavour than anything they've eaten.
True.
Naan bread's quite flavoursome.
Not the stuff from local kebab shops around here. It's like normally a little bit stale in a corner.
We're still talking about your dinner.
No, we're talking about Tommy Lee Jones's testicles.
Oh, there it is. Brought us all the way back around. What a ledge. Glad one of us has got some fucking segue.
Yeah.
Anywho, right. Have I covered everything I wanted to cover?
With cum?
I've done that anyway. I've done that anyway, yeah. But
Not everything he's wanted to.
Oh, Glass Castle and Mountains Between Us is out at the
You want
movies
to
this
fucking
weekend.
cover a glass castle with cum?
No, Mountains Between Us has got Idris Elba and Kate Winslet in it,
Yep, so bound to be a good performance and an overrated performance.
and Glass Castle has Woody Harrelson.
Oh, I love that, Matt. Pretty much.
And Brie
everyone
Larson. So there you go. Those
Woody
movies are out
Harrelson's
this weekend.
amazing in everything he's in.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Have you seen
really is.
that Edge of 17?
No.
You should watch it.
Just
great.
after what we
It's a great little film.
Stevie Nicks, isn't it? Edge of 17.
It's a great little movie.
Is that song in there?
It's not on the soundtrack.
Fucking missed opportunities.
Maybe it was too
Just watch.
expensive.
I'm not going to tell you anymore. You just watch it.
They let Jack Black sing it in fucking School of Rock.
Oh,
No, it's not a rights thing.
I don't know then.
It's not a rights thing. She's pretty cool about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
She's very cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Against getting paid.
I don't know what else to say. Thinking of really inappropriate things inspired by your comments.
My comments.
Inspired by your comments.
Other stuff is out this week.
Oh, AIM died, which led us on to our conversation about Yahoo Answers.
Yes, that did.
You were chuckling to yourself, and I was trying
Not
to
today, I wasn't.
work out why, and it was because you were looking at Yahoo Answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do come up with some.
If you want to laugh, go to Yahoo Answers. That's the message there. Other stuff that came out this week.
Oh, it will be coming out this week. I'm sure there's some new stuff coming. We'll be premiering this
Yeah.
week.
Will be.
Yeah.
You
So
too.
we watched The Inhumans.
And your point was proven.
The Inhumans got really fucking panned at the cinema.
I'm sorry, I'm
And
old.
so it should
I'm
have, because
keeping
it
you up.
wasn't meant to be at the cinema.
I'm keeping you up.
It should never have been at the cinema. It performs well as a TV show. It's slightly better quality than Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And let's face it, that's run for... that starts 5th season. So if they're on about cancelling this already just because of how it performed in a place where it shouldn't have performed,
Yes.
it's like saying, fucking hell, these Big Macs didn't go down well at the fucking vegan festival at all. That's exactly what
Pretty much.
that is.
Yeah.
You can't take a TV show to a cinema-going audience and then go, yeah, this is IMAX cinematically worthy as a film. It's not a film. It's a TV show.
This
It's what it
hardcore
should-
pornography has done really badly at this Catholic priest convention, but last week at the fucking porn fucking festival in Vegas, it went down fucking like gangbusters.
I thought if it was shown at a Catholic priest,
No, that's if
they
it was
would
child
love it.
pornography.
Oh, okay. Oh, just to let you know,
We're talking about porn that stars adults.
because
They
I
ain't
can't
into that.
remember if it was you that we were having the conversation with,
And it's
or
just
someone
adults
else.
sodomising fucking people that like otherwise trust them.
But Puck from Glee got 4 to 7 years.
Yes. Speaking of perverts.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't remember if it was John we were having the conversation with.
No, I was with my brother.
Oh, okay. It doesn't matter then.
Yeah.
I'm trying to compose myself. That's what they're calling it now.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, Watching Humans, honestly, give it a go. There are 2 episodes that are up. I think you can watch it on Sky, isn't it? It's on there. Pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
wanna
on,
say yes.
Sky One or something like that.
It's not Netflix.
No.
Is it not Netflix? Okay.
New. Discovery is getting better. The next episode of that was really good, actually.
Star
I really
Trek.
liked it. The 3rd episode I thought was fantastic. So interesting to see how it goes. Because now you've got like a Starfleet officer who's a fucking prisoner, essentially. Is a criminal.
Yes.
It's kind of cool. Like they've never done anything like that
Just
before.
don't get
The Orville is still more like Star Trek than Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, I prefer the Orville.
It needs to be funnier.
No, I think they've got it just right. I like it.
It's too much like Star Trek. It's way too much like old Star Trek. It's like The Next Generation with a bit tongue in cheek. It's just
Like Galaxy Quest.
No. Galaxy Quest was even more of a spoof than this. I was expecting a little bit more.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah,
With your Star Trek.
this is more of a love letter to The Next Generation than it is anything else I've ever seen. Like, it's crazy. It's no way near as funny as the trailer's made out, but it still doesn't mean it isn't a good show, because it is. It is a good show. And every now and again there'll be a one-liner that'll be fucking great. But yeah, no, there's some cool stuff coming. The trailer for Marvel's Runaways dropped today. Go check that out. That's going to be on Hulu, so fuck knows how we'll watch it over here. I'm sure it'll be on something like Amazon or Netflix, as these things tend to be over here. Normally Amazon get it in the UK if it's on Hulu over there. So it looks really good. The basic premise is you got a bunch of teenagers find out that their parents are a team of supervillains and cultists. So they don't want to be involved with that, so they try to run away. That's the name, the Runaways, and then the parents try and hunt them down and get them back, and there's all sorts of twists, and there's going to be a dinosaur at some point. So go give that a watch. It looks really good, especially if people are into stuff like Riverdale and things at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, so it's going to be kind of like Riverdale
Meets Jurassic Park.
Well, no, a dinosaur. Otherwise, it's just like Jurassic Pen. Right? It wouldn't be so much for Pen. So yeah, no, it's going to be like, as I say, sort of Riverdale meets something like the Defenders, but better. You know, it's going to be like that. That's going to be cool. I think it might do a lot better than a lot of people think it's going to do. Unfortunately, again, it's a property that 99% of people haven't heard of. It's a pretty deep cut, but go check it out. Oh, yeah, Gifted started. That was good too. Go check that out. Yeah.
Recommendations galore.
Yeah, there's been some cool stuff. Kevin Probably Saves the World as well, probably the other good thing that we've seen. Interesting premise. Guy is now on a mission from God. You know, there are thousands of these missions from God, talking to God, like TV shows, and eventually they all get cancelled after a couple of seasons, and hopefully that won't happen again for this.
Wasn't
one.
the Eli one like that?
Yeah, 2 seasons with fucking
Tommy Lee. No, not Tommy Lee.
Tommy.
Tommy Lee Jones is fucking.
Scrotum face
Johnny Lee
himself.
Miller.
Yeah.
Johnny Lee
Less
Miller.
scrotum face Lee. Yeah. Yeah, Johnny Lee Miller, Eli Stone. There was a fucking great series. Right? 2 seasons that got. Hand of God, great series. Talking to God, 2 seasons that got. So maybe we'll get 2 seasons of this. History says we will. Kings, that was like Jesus, he talking to God like King. That was with talking to
Three Claps?
face people. Oh, Lovejoy.
Ian
McShane.
Yeah. That got 2 seasons. It's not just me blowing smoke. These facts are in my head.
I believe you.
Talk to God, 2 seasons. That's what you get.
But this is
Rightly or wrongly.
maybe we should do this because then we know we're going to get at least 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We should write a show.
But yeah, no, it was genuinely entertaining. It ran at 45 minutes, which is weird because I thought it was going to be like a 25 minute comedy. Ran full time. It were good. Right, we need to go. I think that's about enough time for us.
I need a big poo.
So yeah, that was a quick roundup for everything that's coming out.
A quick roundup.
Yes, here comes the second quick roundup. Right, and I'm going to do a portrayal.
I'm going for my shit now.
I'm going to do a portrayal of a man
She actually wants to go.
slowly moving
I'll
through
take my
time
pen. And space.
I'll
Isn't
see you
that-
later.
Isn't that
and
Doctor
gelatin. Telly, wrestling, naked teddy bears that John has fucked previously. Sitting on the floor. Sit on the floor. So how many fingers did you say you got in that badger?
At least 2 fists.
How many fists have you got?
Well, by the time he fucking like straps that fucking dildo onto the end of his cock, 3, I imagine.